God is an ongoing creation. See, agape is the kind of love that creates persons, the way a parent loves a child. By loving that non-person, you turn it into a person. It's a godlike ability that we have. A person that could enter into a community of persons and find meaning, fellowship, belonging.
In that sense, that's where I see this little corner coming to meet this moment.
Oh, that's a very, I hadn't thought about that.
Because,
so just let me make sure I make, sorry for interrupting, I just want to get it. Instead of the
My job just to
it's like, no,
to steal branding apparently right now. What is up? How's it going? Guess we can keep this nice and chill back here for a second. I wanted to hop on and stream for a little bit. I'm playing it out of the browser because I'm gonna play the video. I'm actually gonna play the video. I was already in the branding part, and it just makes it easier. And you know, I'm lazy. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this video. This video. The next parenting trend starts before conception. I think this is gonna be kind of scuffed. Okay, I'm gonna admit this now. I'm gonna go down into the comments, click my links. Hopefully I have enough. I can find myself fast enough. But we're gonna skip around. And I wanted to beat Paul to it. So yeah, Gattaca, here we go. I guess we just start out with the first little bit. This is my attempt at doing a good reaction. See how this goes.
Took the trays of embryos that contain you and your husband's embryonic children, and I threw them in the river. What kind of crime have I committed? Have I committed a property crime? Like, should I pay a fine? Like, what have I done?
So are you saying that you want to criminalize IVF and that you should ban IVF? Is that your stance?
It's not the best start, but it gets at something that is super interesting in this conversation. So the setup for this conversation is this this woman here. She is this kind of Silicon Valley like startup CEO, and she is working on IVF. Hey Chad, what's up? And does it make sense to do a camera here? Maybe I need to make myself presentable. Okay, 1 second. I'm not very presentable. It is a bit of an uncharitable response from her. That's kind of the fun part about this video, though. We're gonna grab the webcam. Hello. Greetings, friends. I am down here. I am framed. So this woman is like, you know, talking about her business. She runs this IVF kind of group and a group company. But what they do is they kind of scan the DNA of the embryos and basically say like, oh, you know, this one's at risk of this disease and this one's at risk of that disease. And this is so interesting because of a lot of pieces. I want to find out, man, I'm gonna be really sad if I missed. I need to find my comment. Gosh. Oh wait, I saw something. I lost it. Yes.
Our children wouldn't be affected by them.
And
okay. So she's doing this thing and she wants to make it so you know, the next generation, right, it won't have like a similar struggle. She wants to be able to eliminate like the bad stuff, all that stuff.
Now parents have this ability to protect their children from an entire category of disease that, previously we had to just hope for the best and wish that, our children wouldn't be affected by them.
Okay, so I know I'm gonna like keep going down, but this is my comment. So interesting, the language of protecting your children. I think that's like the key little bit, which I think is so fascinating. It's like protecting your children, but it's deciding between embryos. And so I'm trying to understand the other perspective since I'm reading the comment. The frame being used seems to imply your child is a potential being and your selection decides who they are. Whereas the other side would say that all the embryos are the children and only a few selected to live. And it's this weird reframing of exactly that. Like, it's like, this is a potential person. Like, by doing this, you're preventing your child from getting this, but you aren't having the child, right? In the conception, like you only have the child when you have the child. So interesting. This is so bizarre to me. And the language, and forgive me if this sounds extreme, but this is like I could pin my melon. Chad, what are you saying? Anyway, it's so interesting because, and this is my other comment here, it reminds me of Exposure. Like this feels like Exposure in Rome. This is like the you put your your sick child or the child you don't want, and you have the child, and then you kind of put them out, and you save them from a lifelong like experience of something bad, and you can just send them out. But then I'll get into this later, but I feel like what does it mean to like voluntarily take on like the exposed children? Anyway, that was something on my mind. I think that's interesting. So the beginning, it starts like this. He kind of walks through. Ross kind of goes slow with it. He's just like, hey, tell me all the like information about your company. Tell me all that. And then it kind of gets interesting back here. We'll go back like a few. Actually, in honor of Grim, before we do that, we'll go to the 33rd minute. See what we find.
Central to the calculation of any given intervention. How do you know that your interventions in some of these areas are working, given that some of the conditions you're testing for don't manifest themselves, for years or decades, right? So yes, you have a set of tests where, if a set of children are born through Orchid's work and, they all turn out to have...
Okay, this was the 33rd minute did not work. Okay, we're going to move on.
Somebody's doing some dishonest framing here, but I don't...
Here, so he frames it.
Would you say, oh, I'd like to have my mother have a chance at life?
Okay, so... yeah, let's...
Decision, in that moment, they'll make a, potentially decision that would surprise you.
Okay, but you are promoting a technology that has profoundly, potentially transformative effects on society. Clearly, you're arguing for it because it has beneficial effects. And you are essentially saying, you don't know what's going to happen to all the extra embryos. Who can possibly say it's just up to people? We know in practice what is likely to happen, right? And
I don't think that's true.
I feel like I'd like to know what you think about the moral status of the embryo. Isn't that something I should be able to know? Like just to go back to the example you talked about, right? With your mother and her illness.
This is the key, right? So kind of the inspiration for what her vision for this company was that her mother experienced a congenital congenital, I don't even think that's right, but like a genetic disease with her eyesight, and so she lost it at a a later age. But this technology could have caught it, right?
Yes, right. In the world you're describing, your mother would exist as an embryo, right? Not your mother as an adult human being, your mother as an embryo. And someone running an ORCID-style program would look at that embryo and say, we're not going to implant that embryo. Does that bother you at all? Would you say, oh, I'd like to have my mother have a chance at life through some kind of low probability, compassionate injection? Are you comfortable with that embryo being frozen or discarded? What's your actual view?
And I think this is a fair question, right? If the very technology you're making that prevents the disease is going to block the existence of the person whom you're trying to help, is that valid? Is that actually doing what you want it to do? And so I think the tough part is it's this framing, it's this bizarre framing of like the potential person. It's the person on the other side. It's my child, but you have several children, right? But no, it's the child that I chose. And then it becomes like a personal thing. It's so interesting to me. It's like it's now individualistic, like I don't want to have the experience of this. I will choose for you if your life is worth living. I only want to have children who are going to have easier lives. Fascinating. Anyways, so she let's see her answer to the question, because I think this is a fair question. I think it's good.
Look, that question has, again, extremely dishonest framing and dichotomous reasoning. So let me just walk you through my.
So she says it's dishonest. Again, I'm not going to try to speak for her. I think she gets into it, and we'll let her speak a little bit more. But her initial reaction is saying it's a dishonest question. Which is fascinating to me. That she thinks that it's a dichotomy, that it's a false dichotomy. That you either choose for your mother to live or you choose for her not to live. It's one or the other. It can't be both. Yeah.
My grandma's life situation. So do you support women or girls getting the chance to finish high school? Do you support girls getting the chance to choose who they marry and when they marry?
I have no clue where this came from. When I was listening to this, for the first time, my mouth was dropped. I was like, what? Where is she going with this?
Right. Well, my grandma.
I think somebody's doing some dishonest framing here, but I don't think it's me.
No, I don't think it's dishonest framing, and I think that is the actual situation that my.
So, the split is now so she says that he's dishonestly framing it, by saying either your mother lives or she doesn't, right? If she existed during the use of your if this is proliferated. If this is used across, time, your mother might not be chosen, right? And she says that's dishonest framing, and then she turns it around and says something along the lines of, do you want women to go to school? Do you want progress? This is the word that we're gonna run into.
She was, married at 16 and had my mom at 17. Right now, we've progressed as a society, and we give girls the choice to finish high school. We give women the choice to choose when they marry and who they marry, and all of those decisions have profound consequences on who gets born. Different people are getting born because girls are finishing high.
So this is the other side, right? It's different people are getting born based off these decisions we're making, and by our technology, different people are going to be born. Which, and Chad, you're saying safety maxing. I think safety maxing is part of it, but I think there's another part of this, which is hyper individualism, going off the deep end. It's wild. It's super interesting.
school. Different people are getting born every time a woman rejects a man on a first date. So I think it's
I'm not asking about the set of choices that bring embryos into being. I'm asking about the embryos themselves. You're running a business and you're saying it would be good to live in a society where the embryo that became my mother was assessed and ruled out of bounds. And I'm just asking you what the actual status of that embryo is. Does it matter? Is it, like if I took the trays of embryos that contain you and your husband's embryonic children, and I threw them in.
So this is the context for this question, which I think makes it
in the river. What kind of crime have I committed? Have I committed a property crime? Like, should I pay a fine? Like, what have I done?
So are you saying that you want to criminalize IVF and that you should ban IVF? Is that your stance?
I'm asking, I mean, look, I have convictions on abortion and IVF that are generally out of step with the mainstream of America, and I completely own that. I would say no. I don't want to ban IVF.
So the conversation just gets cut off, and so we'll sit here for a second longer. Actually, there's something else coming up at 56:36.
But I
so
think
about
there
a minute.
Should be limits on the number of embryos created, absolutely. And I would favor, at least at a level of sort of moral suasion, encouraging the kind of, compassionate. What's the term you use? Compassionate.
It's called compassionate transfer.
Compassionate transfer. I would support that. So if I've answered your question, now I'd like you to tell me: does the embryo have any moral status? That's all I'm asking.
Sure. I think that the question of, an embryo that is going to get adult onset blindness, what do I think about that embryo? My mom doesn't.
So she's actually going to answer the question, right? What is she going to do with her mother?
Want to be blind. She doesn't want me to be blind. She doesn't want her grandkids to be blind. So I think that it is a positive moral choice. It is the responsible decision as a parent to detect that risk at the earliest possible stage and to, transfer the embryo that has the best probability of.
My mother doesn't want this. And so there's two ways to see it, right? If we see it from, I think I share kind of the perspective of doubt that. If we share the perspective of doubt that, it's like, you're saying that you don't want your mother to be born. It'd be better if she wasn't born. Right? I think that's kind of the standard way of seeing it. Forgive me for kind of standardizing this. But her perspective, and I put it down in the comments. We'll go over and see if I flip-flopped or like tried to or changed anything. But she's focusing on her mother will be her mother no matter what. That no matter what embryo gets chosen, it will still be her mother. But that's the essential problem is that's not the case, right? That human being, would it be better if they were born or not? The way she talks here makes it clear that she sees this very differently than Douthit sees it. Her mother is an embryo that was selected. In her view, it could go no other way, right? The selected embryo is the embryo, is her mother. There is no other. And so whether the one that's selected with the good traits or the bad traits, well, it's just better to choose the one with the good ones, obviously. Your child is the embryo that you select. The discarded ones are the paths not taken. But it will always be your one child. And so the reason I called this, I hope this isn't too mean. Look, Mom, I'm frameless. Is this this take of this woman talking about her mother and talking about this is progress. This is all like the progression of the world, right? Is that more individual freedom is equated with progress. That it's just the literal term progress is like the you're taking step by step. You're just taking the next step and you just keep going. And it's just kind of the grooves of change. There's a line from Chesterton talking about some of this. He's quoting somebody else, but it's like the history goes down the grooves of change. That the idea that like just the course of history, the arc of history is preset, and we are just traveling along it. that it's not I'm pulling in my direction or you're pulling your direction. It's that like we are going the correct direction. The history has an arc and it keeps going in a specific way. And it's clear here from this perspective, it's essentially individualism. A very kind of, capitalistic individualism, focusing on, but it's shrouded in this, like, I care for these people, so I don't want them to suffer. And it's just kind of complex. Like it's hidden in there, but it's fascinating to me. I think we get into an awkward section back here. Let's see if we can pull it up. If he reads this poem.
And the future generations that come into being. And I'm going to take the podcaster's privilege, and I apologize for this, but I'm going to read you a piece
I did
of a
it
poem.
perfectly. Okay.
It's by a poet named Galway Kinnell, and the poem is called "After Making Love, We Hear Footsteps." And the idea is sort of contained in the title, that the husband and wife make love, and it wakes up their child, and the child comes and gets in bed with them. And Kinnell writes, "In the half-darkness, we look at each other and smile and touch arms across this little, startlingly muscled body, this one whom habit of memory propels to the ground of his making. Sleeper only the mortal sounds can sing awake. This blessing love gives again into our arms." Sorry. Do you worry?
I love how he takes every course to kind of talk about this logically, try to push it, and there's this kind of fundamental difference. And so the only thing he can reach to, the show's a bit quiet. Okay, I can turn that up. We'll put some beef behind it. The only thing he can do is to kind of reach to poetry, because there isn't really anything else. Like that is the only kind of course forward. And so I think it's a powerful image, right? This image of like the link between the union of a couple and the generative properties, right? And he'll get into it, but it's fascinating to see her reaction to this.
About removing or diminishing from human experience that aspect of being a husband and a wife in a relationship with a child.
What do you mean?
I mean, in your future, the feeling in a future where orchid technology becomes a norm, the feeling that poet is expressing, where a man and a woman make love, and by making love, they bring a new life into the world that they haven't sculpted or engineered in any way, that is given to them out of the self-giving from each other, that forms this profound connection between sex, the way you love your partner, and the family that you brought into being. And again,
whoa, okay. After you can't be saying stuff like that, okay? I'm not talking about that.
Allowing that we're in a world where people have genetic disorders, and there are all kinds of reasons that people would consider other ways of having children. You're imagining a future where that just sort of goes away. And I'm wondering if you think anything would actually be lost if that goes away. If 90% of babies are born through IVF, and having sex and having a baby out of that becomes this weird thing that the Amish do, aren't you pushing some really intimate and important aspect of human experience out of human experience?
Yeah, I think people will, obviously continue to have sex. I mean, it's a profound source of connection. I think it's just that people will. I mean, it's actually funny. I mean, this quote that I've said of, sex is for fun, orchid and embryo screening is for babies. It's actually.
I didn't want to quote that to you because I thought it was so ridiculous. But go.
I love how he was like, I was trying to put you in the best light. Okay, I was trying to, but that is your quote to say.
Go on.
I actually don't. I think it's already true. I mean, already people are having sex much more often than they're having babies. Sex is already for fun and not for babies, 99% of the time. So it's actually not so strange of a
but
concept.
Then sometimes
it
is. But when you get a baby, most people get it from having sex. And so it's, there's plenty of people who have sex without having babies. But most people who get a baby, it is linked inextricably to having sex with your spouse. And you're saying it's time to sever that for the sake, I concede, of potential medical benefits. I'm just saying, I think pretty clearly something that like poets write about would go away.
Yeah, I think that sex is a beautiful thing. And I think that if you have enormous genetic privilege, and for you to roll the dice and to get a outcome that isn't going to lead to disease is in the cards for you, then of course go ahead and roll the dice. It's just that I think that the vast majority of parents in the future are not going to want to roll the dice with their child's health. They're going to see it as taking the maximum amount of care, the maximum amount of love, in the same way that they plan their nursery, plan their home, plan their preschool. All of these decisions are actually extremely insignificant.
What is is it Mary Harrington who says the fully automated luxury Gnosticism? That there's this like level of like complete disconnect from being it's completely disembodied. It's just as we've removed children from the fun of having sex, we're going to remove the fun of having sex from the generation of children. And genetic privilege. So yeah, and then this kind of section brought to my mind, like, man, this sounds so much like Exposure. I know I mentioned that towards the beginning, but I know we have some more people here. But like the Roman practice of exposure, of you have a child and you don't want the child, and so you leave the child out on a stump, in the middle of the woods, and you say, you wipe your hands with it and you say, I'm out of here. I'm just gonna go on my way. And that was something that like the early Christians were known for, is going out and finding these children who had been left in the woods, and taking them in and raising them as their own. Some of them diseased, deformed, some of them like there was just like, I hate saying this, like there was sexism, right? Like there were children who were like women or girls, and they were abandoned, right? And so we see that as progress, like in the arc of history, and I think she would agree, right? That is the right thing to do. But it's weird that it's kind of come around and it's not the same. So I found that fascinating. I found it, and fundamentally it has to do with the frame, right? That there's a group of people, and I've noticed them more and more, who talk as if they have no frame. I know it's still happening. It's not, I know. But it's hard to get somebody to talk about it so explicitly as this, right? And oftentimes when it is happening today, there isn't a chance always to help. But this one feels like it is there, right? There's these embryos that are frozen. So what does it look like for, somebody to voluntarily take in someone else's child into their body to, take care of them? I have a hard time thinking something that's like, is that beautiful? Like that feels like it's like another level of just like wild. But anyway, because you're not only like, taking care of their family, but it's, they have a frame. It's I am God. But I think this is the difficulty, right? Is that, so we have this kind of thing, and I'll take it on myself, right? I have been in that spot where I feel like I just see the world how it is. I don't have a frame. I'm not thinking of it through a Christian lens or a like atheist lens or whatever. Like I'm just seeing the world as it is. So like, who are you to tell me if there's something different? And eugenics, yes, Ron. This is just straight up eugenics, but we won't move too far. But so there's this kind of look, and it's like I don't have a frame. I am just seeing the world as it is, and yeah. So that brings us into Paul's video. We got homeroom. My comment. I've been noticing this a lot lately. What's with all the I've got no frame people? Bro, you have a frame. You always have a frame. And there's just a few clips of this.
Vertigo.
We started out with Brendan Graham Dempsey.
Relate if they've had a similar experience, but one example is if you like lose your faith. I grew up in a very like conservative evangelical Christian house, and that was my meaning. That was my frame of making sense of the world, was through that story and those symbols and that general framework. And when I then went on to study that and started digging into, the history, the archaeology, kind of critically probing this story that I was using to make meaning of the world, I hit a wall. I had my own crisis, a crisis of faith. And the consequences of that were a feeling of just utter disorientation, a sense of vertigo. It's like you don't really know which way is up, which way is down, because your whole frame for contextualizing your experience and your reality.
So you're saying like I lost my frame. I had a frame and I can tell you what it was. But then when I critiqued my frame, I lost my frame and then I was lost. The problem is you can't lose your, like you can lose your frame in a certain sense. You can change your frame. Maybe that's better. Everyone can change their frame. You can choose to change it. I think Paul gets into this, right? People believe things in groups. You join a group and then you kind of buy into what they're selling. Like that's changing your frame. But losing your frame isn't something you can just like do. Like you can't just like, it's gone. I don't have anything. Right? I think that's the nihilist myth, maybe. And maybe we'll touch on that. But no, I'll get into that. So this is my fundamental kind of thesis on nihilism, and I've made several videos back in the day, and so you can go look at them up. They're all kind of titled some version of nihilism, and you can go through. But after kind of thinking about it for a while, and actually playing Fallout New Vegas as a nihilist actually helped me think through this, is you can't have no, like you can't think nothing matters. Like fundamentally, your brokenheartedness, your depression, your brokenness in some way, shape, or form is an expression of a frame that's there. The fact that Brendan Graham Dempsey, I'm speaking to in a certain sense. Maybe I should look this way. Here, we'll switch the camera over. Oh,
as now.
Nope, this way. We'll move it over. So, yeah. But like the fact that you critiqued your own frame implies that you weren't in the frame. Like you couldn't be in the frame if you were able to critique it enough to break it. Like it doesn't work that way. It means that you had a foot somewhere else. And so this gets into it. And so we see a few of these. We'll go over to Nate's favorite podcaster.
And really loved doing what we would call nuanced Christianity, kind of like Brian McLaren kind of Christianity. You just like so perfectly defined like the spiritual crisis that we're in and the meaning crisis, and I was just like eating it up. And then I felt like you went somewhere where I couldn't go. And the question that I've wanted to ask you since then is that if your atheist phase, and then like we can go wherever you want for the rest of the interview, this is really my only question that I've had for you, is if your atheist phase had a more...
So I want to get at what she's talking about, which is in her perspective, the atheism is a lack of a frame, and maybe we'll catch it when she says it. I don't want to go further, but she's like, atheism just means a lack of belief, right? But the problem is
spiritual root in it.
Mm-hmm.
So like my atheism has a Sufi teacher that I meet with regularly. It has mysticism and it has psychedelics and it has meaningful work and it has purpose and it has service and it has contemplation, and it really has all of the aspects of religion that I have cultivated into my life. And so it's a thriving form of spiritual atheism. Do you feel like if your atheism...
Which is wild to me. Again, this is religious framelessness-ism. And the fact that you can't be frameless, right? You're coming at this from a perspective. And this is kind of the annoying part to me. And maybe I'll I can interact with the chat and we can kind of work this out. But this is what I find postmodernism actually does well. Is that it's able to point out the fact that everybody has a perspective, that you're not like the default person, that there is a different perspective on all of this. This is existentialism 101, right? Like you don't encounter anything in the objective mode. The way you experience the world is subjective. And so at the very least, right, the very bottom frame, if you have no other frame, it's I am the supreme being of the universe. And that's kind of what Af was getting at in chat, is that is kind of the fundamental broken frame at the bottom that you kind of sit in. And then you can have a bunch of other frames too, right? I think fundamentally, like the progressive frame is one of personal like liberation and independence. Not necessarily in a good way to the end, but like there's aspects of it that have been, you know, fueled by something good.
Had more spirituality to it, that phase, like, because when you talk about your atheism, it's an emptiness, and for me it's not an emptiness, it's very much a wholeness. And so I wonder if your atheist phase had spirituality in it, would it have been so empty for you?
Well, I think that's an excellent question. And I think even in the early 90s, one would have been hard pressed to find a single spiritual atheist,
yeah, I guess that's true,
you know, on the planet. So I didn't have those.
In the 90s, you would have had a hard time finding one spiritual atheist, because it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, hot take, I think there's a lot of frames available once you believe in God. Yes. I mean, there's a lot of frames out there in general, right? Like, I think this is the postmodern in me, right? To quote, to half quote Tayo, I'm postmodern AF, you know? Like, the fact is, there's more frames than there are people, right, in the world. That no one's going to experience the world the same way as you. Like, you are going to experience the world in a completely unique way. But then you also need to choose the direction, right? Like, how do you want to form the way you see the world? And fundamentally, I'd argue that the most fundamental frame is always religious in one way or another. It's kind of like this base kind of way that you see the world. And I don't mean it in, for anybody who's here who's like not religious, I'm not trying to say that you are secretly believing in God or something like that. But that there are like these kind of like primordial kind of feelings or like deepest level things that you hold to be self-evident, that you don't need proof for. They are the things that you hold to be most important. And there's no way around it. You know, there's that conversation that Paul had with the guy who debated Jordan Peterson on the Jubilee, and he says, like, isn't this offensive to religious people? And it's like, I don't think so. Right? It's like, it's the difference between someone being able to recognize that they have a frame, that they're looking at it, and they're able to say, you know what, like, I have a frame and I'm going to follow it through, versus someone who says, you know, isn't this obvious? This is just the way we do things. It's the Tom Holland Christianity versus the, you know, the Robert Barron maybe, or something like that. Like, just some arbitrary kind of like more foot on the ground religious person. Maybe a Ron Copperman religion, maybe, would be a way of putting it. So all of that was super fascinating. Let me see if I had another video queued up, and we can pull it over. But I keep a secret. I keep a secret playlist that no one knows about.
I'm generally
Oh, that's a spoiler. Oh, okay. I need to show this before I forget. Nobody's gonna get this because no one was here last night. So I'm sorry, everybody. But we are gonna watch for 2 seconds. We're gonna watch this video that. Oh Man, I don't want it to move on. I want it to play multiple times. Can we just get the video? Please just share the video. Copy the video. I found... See you, Chad. I found, hopefully you're here, the why I have my father's last name. We're just gonna experience this together.
My mother raised me as the kindest and the sweetest person you'll ever met. But if you mess with me, then I will show you why I have my father's last name.
Okay. I mean, we have to do it again, right?
As a kindest. My mother raised me as the kindest and the sweetest person you'll ever met. But if you mess with me, then I will show you why I have my father's last name.
Okay. Anyway, that was amazing. That gets at most of what I was trying to share. I want to see if there's anything left in here and we can kind of get at it. But I think that was most of what I wanted to touch on. Yeah, that psychs you up, right? You're ready to like move a mountain right now. I need to find, there's like a whole bunch of those. I don't know where the audio comes from. I'd love to know if anybody ends up finding out. But it is a great time. Yeah, that was a fun like long troll for Nate. Maybe we'll show off while I'm here the related Twitter post. I really like this photo. It's a great one. Have you seen those weird ones with the purple guy and the white mask? No, I have not, Grizz. Interesting. Someday I will I'll be more prepared. If you can answer, please point me to how to solve or address this stuff. Solve or address this stuff. Oh, how do you, oh, okay, yeah, we can solve framelessness. Yeah, let's solve framelessness with Rainn Wilson on our screen. Framelessness, what you need to do is you need to recognize that you do have a frame, that you see the world a specific way, and you need to find out how you see the world to begin with. It's really hard to do this for somebody else. So, you know, how you do that, I have no clue. But what you do is you sit down and you kind of look at yourself and you say, you know, hey, like, how do I see the world? First of all, you compare yourself to other people. You know, you look at other people and you see how they see the world. If only I had a frame. And then you say like, oh, they see this thing, I see this thing. And recognize that, you know, you're not being objective, that you're just seeing it. And, you know, you follow that path down the way. You say like, oh, I'm seeing things differently. And then you kind of get an idea of what you think. And then you're like, then you also, everybody also has a way of the way they think they should be. And you're not the way you should be. Okay? I'm going to promise you that. You know, we all fall short of our own ideals. Anybody who doesn't has not good ideals. And then, yeah, you just go through. And then it's a constant kind of, it's the churn. The churning is not the right way. It's shaving it. And so you kind of shave it off. You're like you're sculpting a sculpture out of marble. And you're chipping away everything that's not the statue. Oh, good night, Ron. I could while away the hours looking at pictures of flowers if I only had a frame. True. You can't play Fallout New Vegas as nihilist because you can't consistently be a nihilist. There's always another frame that you're actually using. Yeah, you're actually valuing something at all times. As much as you want to think that you're outside of it, you're not. Shaving the churn. Yeah, shaving the trim. Okay. If anybody wants to hop on and to talk, let me know. We can I have the Foxman server up. I'm in the chat. So if anybody wants to do that, I'll have that on the side. But we'll keep talking for a little bit. I don't want to change the subject too fast, but we might have to go a different direction because I don't know how much more I can talk about this. We have a nice. Oh no, I lost the playlist. Okay, we need to pull this up. Don't play that. Close that. Share this. Copy it, and I will prepare in the future. For real. For real. We got a Zizek, an old Zizek video.
I'm generally opposed to wisdom. Wisdom is the most conformist thing you can imagine. You know, whatever you do, a wise man will come and justify it. Once I made a mental experiment. I will say something. I don't know how to say it. I'm too ironic with all this pathos. Why are we running after this
Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
miserable earthly pleasures? The only satisfaction is eternity. It would sound a deep thing to say. Now, let's say the opposite. Why run after the specter of eternity? Carpe diem. Grasp what you have here. It sounds wise. Now I will say the third option. Why be caught in a contrast between eternity and temporary existence? The true wisdom is to see eternity in fleeting temporary pleasures. It is wise. Then I say the fourth variation. We are forever condemned between the two. A wise man accepts this. You know, whatever I say, you can sell it as a wisdom. This is a wisdom.
Okay. What I love. Okay. Modern philosophy. Exactly, App. You got it. Ding, ding, ding. Correct answer. It sounds wise because it is wise. It is wise. All of those things are wise. It's a fundamental, misunderstanding of wisdom, which is great from someone who, is a philosopher, which
can imagine.
For those who don't know, philosophy means the love of wisdom. And so why is wisdom contradictory? And why is this so surprising? This is the thing. If you have been on the internet longer than 5 minutes and you see those kind of videos or copy pastas about, all the contradictions in the Bible, one of the ones that you'll run into is one in Proverbs, right? Where it says, was it like, do not answer a fool in his folly. Do not answer a fool according to his folly. And then the next verse, guys. Checkmate, theists. Is answer a fool according to his folly, lest he become wise in his own eyes. We'll zoom in. Yeah. 26, 4, and 5. Because Bible Gateway's better at this. Okay. And we'll not be in the way. We'll move over here. Ever moving. Yeah, optimal grip. They both say the same thing though. I mean, this is the problem, right? People think they mean they mean something different. And so they're like, what do you mean? You're saying answer a fool and don't answer a fool. And the problem is, like, again, it's optimal grip, like Grim, like you're saying, is everyone needs correction in some way. And so you always need to have some sort of correction. And maybe it's all the way to one side and it's all the way to another. Maybe it's in the center. maybe somewhere else. And so the way that I've kind of conceptualized this is this idea of, you know, if the correct place you want to be is in the center, and we're out here, we're kind of moving along the edge, and it's so hard to just dive straight to the center. So you go around, right? Because we're kind of spiraling towards the center. And so something at one point in somebody's life will be, you know, you say, you know, I'm too selfish. You're up here. I'm too selfish. You move over here, and you become so selfless and so degrading to yourself that you've missed the point. The point is humility in the center. Like, you want to be properly humble. And so you come over here and you say, well, maybe I should be a little bit more trusting of myself. And then you're like, oh, now I'm kind of thought too much of myself. And you're constantly kind of carving your way towards the center. Matthew 18 has a similar one. You can pull that up. Okay, you might have to narrow it down a little bit more. And so we have these kind of two sides that he's kind of exploring, but the thing is, like, the contradiction is the wisdom. It's not wise to just say a simple piece of advice and just to say, like, oh, this is what you need to know. What's wise is to give advice. Well, if you're going to give advice, wise advice is something that is applicable to the situation. It's more complex, right? It's going to sound like maybe something that's a little... Okay, the whole chapter ping-pongs back and forth between absolute inclusion and harsh exclusion. Okay. Interesting. So we have... Gonna mess around. Because we have the grace in the kingdom causing the stumble. Parable of the wandering sheep is the radical inclusion. And then excluding, you know, those among you. Interesting. Yeah. And so it's ironic to me that we kind of reached a point where philosophy itself is not, doesn't have any relationship to wisdom at all. Like, it's not part of the equation. So to have somebody who is called a philosopher, but is who says something like, I hate the idea of wisdom, it's just very humorous to me, and it definitely stood out as something that was worth talking about. We might as well go through some of these videos, that way we can see what we have. I'll try to keep a better docket in the future so we can do this.
This is a check for $100 million and it's got your name on it. I'm going to take it to the other side of the world, but if you don't reach it within 48 hours, I'm ripping it up. Would you come and get it? Of course you would, even if you have absolutely no money. You would borrow money, make money, leverage other people's money, negotiate, and everything in between, just to achieve your goal of getting a check. So if you want to get rich, it's simple. Believe there's a guaranteed check waiting for you. All you have to do is put in the work to collect it.
I added this to my list because I just thought this was wild to say. If you want to succeed, you just believe that there's success on the other side, and you'll get there. Okay.
Just a disclaimer, this video is about the cultural impact of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I am in no way endorsing or advocating or justifying the views or perspectives of the author of this book. Since it's...
I think the only reason I included this in the 4 videos was the... you can watch the rest, but is the extended preface. Because I like talking about how we live in a culture of prefaces, where you have to preface every idea with like an extended warning. This disclaimer is like half the video, maybe like a third of the video. I'm going to be honest, but saying that she's gonna talk about the impact that Harry Potter had, and keep everything back. I'm trying to protect myself. I don't want anybody to think I'm saying anything good about this person that you don't like. Warning, warning, warning. I'm going to talk about somebody you don't like.
7. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone has been accused of promoting witchcraft, the occult, and a disobedience to authority. For example, in 2001 and in 2002,
If only they knew it was promoting the opposite. Anyway.
in Texas, this was the most challenged book. In Arkansas, school districts restricted it unless students had parental permission to read it, but a judge later overturned that. And in Georgia, a parent argued against it and advocated because it heavily promoted witchcraft. And then in 2019, a Catholic school in Tennessee banned it because it claimed that the book could summon evil spirits. If you're interested in learning more about why Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is considered challenged and banned in the United States, visit the Banned Books Project.
I think part of the humorous part about this too is that there's a preface about how bad the author is, and it's about how this is not an endorsement of this book, and then simultaneously says, look at all these people trying to ban this book. Look how stupid they are. I love it. Okay, I think we have one last one for our
Fun fact, people don't want to eat food if they're told it's vegan. Before a catered dinner, researchers at MIT sent out a Google Doc to all of the attendees asking them to select what...
Oh, this was like a fundamentally just kind of stupid one. I'm sorry, everybody.
They wanted for dinner, but what no one knew was they were actually taking part in a study. They sent out 2 different versions of the same Google Doc. One version labeled the first dinner option as vegan, and the second one didn't, even though the ingredients were the exact same. When people knew the first option was vegan, 6 out of 10 people selected the second option for dinner. But when people didn't know the first option was vegan, the exact opposite would happen, and 6 out of 10 people would select the first option for dinner. They repeated this experiment twice and got the exact same...
Okay. If you mark something as vegan, and there's a survey for it, and you're not vegan, you're not going to choose it. And it's not because you don't like vegan food, necessarily. But that was part of my point. It's because it's something reserved for the side, right? Oh, we're going to pull Affin. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Let me make sure your sound is good.
Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, I think you're loud enough. We'll check and say otherwise.
Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah, ever since you first played, because I remember you showing or talking about the Slavoj Žižek clip before. Like,
okay.
They're all wise. Like, that's the reason they all sound wise is because they are wise.
Indeed. It's great.
And you nailed it with the explanation. It's the tonos. It's the tension between the extremes and how that ends up playing itself out of, like, how do you actually figure something out? How do you actually make a decision? Because it's not, yeah.
Yeah. It's a fascinating one. I love how it's kind of played where, I don't know. I like reading the comments for everything because I specifically, I feel like this with Neil deGrasse Tyson clips, especially, where there's just constant, like, everybody is just like, he is so smart. He is the smartest person ever. There's nothing wrong with this. This is perfect.
Get your nose out of his butt crack.
It's like, oh, and just to separate that with, like, Boethius or something, right? Where it's like this fundamental. Here, let me work. I'll pull your face into things.
I just figured I'd give you an option if you wanted to do it.
What if if I turn on... No, that's not a good idea. I won't turn on my camera. We'll just do this. Okay. Maybe I share the screen? Or do I share it? Maybe I should just make a window, and then I'll just name it Oh, I have a Discord window. Okay, wait.
We're doing it live, folks. We're doing it live.
Oh, yeah. We can do this. Where did it go? Is it not capturing Discord? Oh, okay, it got a specific name for some reason. Oh no. There we go. YDAF. There.
Just saw the wide app.
Wait, is it not gonna stay? Oh no. I wanted it to be wide, but okay. It works. It's fine. Anyway. What madness is this, Slack? We're talking about videos and stuff.
Noah's trying to get in on the Nate triggering bandwagon.
I'm doing this. Okay. Here now, if I'm sharing, I think you can see whatever I see.
Yep.
So if you have a place you want to go on the internet, the World Wide Web, let me know and we can do that.
So 2 thoughts. One, have your thoughts on pirate software changed? Just because I saw there was a thumbnail for it.
Yeah, we can. Here, let's pull up. We have to have like a background for everything. I'm sure we're gonna get great pictures if we do. Man, that was a good picture too. I wanted to do the one.
That one, yeah.
And we'll desktop background. Yeah, why not?
Oh my god.
Here.
Beautiful.
The stream is looking beautiful. I really don't care that much, to be honest. I'm at the point where I'm like, he's not good at coding. He's making kind of basic mistakes with that, and that's kind of like, eh. But you know what? He made some good points about making games. So
yes, he did. That's the one thing that's kind of frustrating to me is like he had some really good content about that.
Yeah, and I think he made good points. Like there are times where I'm like, not based off of his expertise in anything, just like his ability to kind of communicate like about like, oh yeah, these are some game mechanics. There's a lot of stupid stuff he would say, not even like regarding the industry, but just in general. He would say stuff like really pedantic, stupid stuff about like fiction shows and stuff. He'd be like, the time travel in this show means that the world would explode or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going too far down that route. Yeah, I'm not subscribed to him anymore. I got tired of seeing his stuff recommended, and I was like, you know what? Probably because I'm subscribed, I'm also getting all the like hate channel stuff. And so I'm like, I don't want to even be like anywhere part of this. I don't know about you, but whenever there's a huge controversy, actually we should switch sides on the screen. Let me let me do that. It looks more normal this way, and we'll make you more square.
Okay. The other thing too, am I the only one who thinks of like the Gundam cockpit like screens of people talking to you thing with this?
Yeah, this is the audience looking in the mirror. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have too many more thoughts other than that. I don't know about you, but like whenever I see a controversy for the most part, and there's somebody who makes like a dunking video where they're like, oh, this person is bad and here's all the reasons why, I might stop watching the person that they're dunking on, but I will never watch the person who is dunking on them. Like very rarely do I ever like watch that channel, even if they're not normally drama or something. I remember there was like a Joma Tech, I think was like a big YouTube channel, and they were doing some stuff, and somebody else called them out. It's another tech channel, and they were like, oh yeah, they're like being really scummy with the way that they do their advertising and stuff. And I was just like, okay, I won't watch their channel, but I'm not gonna watch your channel either. It's just gonna be a net like me not watching less of this type of content. And I'm like, okay, net benefit for me. But
there's certain ones that I do watch, but I definitely feel that. Harmful Opinions is one that like I watched him back before his extended break, and he's got like, I don't know, he's definitely contend towards the more abrasive, but my overall experience with him is that he tries to just be very like autistically accurate with whatever it is that he's talking about. So
I won't lie though. I do get into the YouTube drama stuff, but I play that very close to my chest. I don't talk about what YouTube drama I watch because all that can blow up at any moment, and I don't even want to be associated with that.
Well, also it's a guilty pleasure. I think
Oh, it is.
CC was talking about girl world whatever stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, this is 100% guilty pleasure. I know.
What's great is like my wife watches like drama videos on YouTube, not necessarily about like YouTubers, but just in general. Actually, usually about YouTubers, but they're like very small like things. And the drama is like, oh, this person is like, you know, horrible to their roommate in real life or something like that. It's like the drama I watch is about like people promoting terrorism on Twitch and stuff.
What? No, that never happened.
What? That's crazy.
Hassan, this isn't a music video.
And so whenever I tell her about my like the stuff that I'll watch, she's like, that just makes me depressed. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's to your shame. CC. Oh.
So the other thing that I had, we mentioned before, McBaldi. If you want to pull one of those up and watch it real quick.
McBaldi? Who's this?
Yep. Just watch one, and it's gonna be easier for you to just experience it rather than me try to explain it.
Is there really a place to start?
Any of those.
You whisper, I'm so tired, like it's a secret you hope the sky won't hear. But you never truly rest, do you? You don't sleep, you stall. You don't exhale, you delay. You tuck yourself beneath blankets like burial shrouds, but your soul still paces the corridors of your skull long after your body has surrendered. You ache for silence, and yet you lace your hours with noise, as though quiet might expose something inside you that you're not ready to meet. You run from your own mind as if it were a house on fire, but the flames are just memories asking to be held. Darling wanderer, you are not escaping your thoughts. You are building altars to them. In every unfinished conversation, in every skipped breath, in every moment you chose motion over mercy. You think rest must be earned. But rest is not a prize. It is a birthright. You are made for stillness too. The tide does not apologize when it retreats. The moon does not explain herself when she wanes. Why do you? You keep folding your pain into origami excuses. There's too much to do. I'll rest when I'm done.
Is this a real person? Like, is this AI?
I'm pretty sure it's a real person doing the voiceover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We don't have to watch the rest of it.
Interesting though. Is this like like I'm assuming they make a lot of these, if I had to guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very. Is this something that like a lot of people got on their shorts at some point? This feels very like shorts oriented.
Probably. I don't know. I mean, I didn't find them through shorts, but I'm not really a shorts browser as a general rule.
Fair enough. You have better control than I do.
Well, I wouldn't call it that, because I still will click on shorts that are recommended to me on my phone, but I don't do I refuse to do the scroll thing. Do not do that.
That is a good call. Let me see if I can find this for. Oh no, what happens? We don't need to watch the video about the about the WNBA right now. Let me see if I can find the lion video for Skankenstein real fast.
Do another play of it
to cleanse his mind.
Mm-hmm. I was definitely thinking of a different song when you were trying to describe it. The do 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 do. You know what I'm talking about?
No, wait, what's that one? I know there's a different one, not this one, that's normally done with it.
I'm generally opposed.
Mm-hmm.
You're generally opposed.
My mother raised me as a kindest and the sweetest person you'll ever met. But if you mess with me, then I will show you why I have my father's last name.
beautiful.
You see, I could see how that would do something for some people, but it doesn't really do anything for me.
Oh no, Sherry's here. Oh no.
Straighten up, guys.
We weren't doing anything. We were
Nothing weird at all. You do not have
but
to say make you rich.
Interesting, like inspirational content.
Mm-hmm.
First thing he has linked is TikTok. I scare because I care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the Monument Mythos stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any of that? Oh,
no, what's up?
We won't go too far into it.
The Wendigoon stuff?
Well, it's he did a video about it.
Okay.
There's like all these like horror about like all the monuments do weird stuff. So it's like, oh, this day in history the Statue of Liberty moved, and there's like this, like under it they found a mass grave or something like that, and it's all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
But it reminds me, there's like the Lincoln Looker. There's like, oh, the Lincoln Memorial has like a face behind it, and there's a person who's inside the Lincoln Memorial who's stuck in there. Anyway, it reminded me of this, where there's just this face. Anyway.
So is that stuff like actually based on accounts, or is it more like
it's all like a just a long form horror series that's like all fictional. It's all like crazy.
Okay.
I think that's the one where like the Monument Mythos might be the one where it might be a different one where there's like a being that eats all of like America and then replaces it with an exact replica of itself, but it's made of the meat, like it's one organism. And so everybody thinks that they're normal and nothing happens, but it was just that. Oh, thanks for checking in, Cher.
Yep. Checking in on the Petri dish.
But yeah, it's a bizarre one.
Mm-hmm.
But I've only seen the Wendigoon coverage because I'm too much of a chicken to watch the real thing.
God bless. Have you ever checked out SCP, the SCP website?
The SCP website? I haven't checked that one out.
You're aware of it though.
I know of it. I know of the stories and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Are they still adding SCPs?
Probably, but from what I understand, the moderation team is significantly different than the one that was there at the inception of it. So quality is questionable.
Yeah.
I haven't followed it very closely. I haven't read even all of them, just some of them.
I know of it just because, you know, culture, zeitgeist kind of stuff. And I've listened to some pieces, but nothing too much. CC, Missing 411. I mean, if we're going to talk about Missing 411, we got to talk about one of the better channels, Lore Lodge. Christian Baxter actually interviewed one of the guys from this channel. They make a bunch of Missing 411 like videos where they go over like disappearances in national parks and stuff like that, and then other stuff like what is a skinwalker, all that kind of stuff. And they do that. They have some fun videos. Let's see what the truth about Missing 411. You were lied to about Killdozer. Great stuff. Did the CIA document hide the true history of humanity?
I was lied to about Killdozer. I'm pretty sure that story just gets better.
Do our leaders worship demons? Anyway. The answer for everything is yes.
Surely not.
But dig into that, and that's a fun one. Let me see if I can find Baxter. Baxter had his it's not gonna come if I.
You bring me your ball, I will throw it for you.
The Christian Baxter. Actually, if I look up Lord Lodge, maybe.
Kelly, come here. Come here. No.
Anyway, he had one with him, with the like editor guy.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to see it, but I feel bad I don't watch as much Christian Baxter as I should. I'm sorry, Seabax. But
there's a couple of his that I like have in the backlog of my mind of like, oh, I want to watch this when I get a chance, but and I've been slammed at work this week, and I can't write and listen at the same time. So.
He's so prolific too. It just keeps going. Between him and Paul, he just keeps making more videos. Anyway,
I'll try not to be too spicy about this. I'm kind of disappointed that there hasn't been more promotion of Midwestuary by the other speakers. Like, I know that Peugeot and Vervaeke did a thing with Transfigured on his show, but like,
I know.
And then I don't know.
Paul's doing something with Roger and Vervaeke and Sam tomorrow. But even then, that's like 2 weeks beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know, it's tough.
Well, and I don't want to like. I don't know if they're just skeptical about Estuary. I don't know if they don't want to pollute their audience with us.
Tickets sold out, CC? I don't think they're sold out. I think there's still some available. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they still got some. We'll find out about numbers, I'm sure, at some point, but probably only after it's over. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody hanging out.
Be a good time. The probable answer is just that they're busy with their own stuff and they don't have time to focus on it, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's just the good part is, right, I want it to be successful in the way that I want people to have, a good time. I want it to not like lose money for anybody. I want everybody to kind of at least, be able to walk away without spending too much. But beyond that, I do like a smaller event. Like, I like the idea of having a little like space that's a little bit more like personal. I can talk to anybody and just walk up to them and not have to worry about that. That was the great part about Northwestuary. I know that was something I was kind of worried about for this one, was that it wouldn't be like that. Like, it would be a lot more kind of big, you could say. Huge. Oh no. Wanted to move this back. But not that far back. Here. Now we move this over here. Now we're in space. Okay. But sorry, I'm getting distracted by reformatting.
Ooh. I was like, what's going on? Like, I have your
yeah, you see my screen.
And then I have the stream on the other screen. Just what is he doing? Space.
I took this picture at like 3 o'clock in the morning on the way to work.
I'm gonna mute myself, wife's calling. 1 second.
Oh, fair enough. I will hide Af in the corner here, and I will make myself big in the center. Then let's remove this. While I was doing that, let's talk about the inside you there are two wolves. Okay. What do we think the two wolves are? I think we have symbolic wolf, but then we have like friendly wolf. And you know, I think ideally you're able to to measure your winsomeness and your ability to provide insightful thoughts on biblical texts. But you never know. And I'm doing this all so I can pull up this faster. We move this here. And then we move this. As if this is all a trick in the end to do this. Girly pop versus dutiful daughter. Which one is which in this case? That's the real question. Okay, did it work? I'm trying to make a surprise, but it's not here. There we go. Surprise, I launched the game. And then we move this over. And we do this. And then we do there. One is in a three-piece suit. That is true. Let me know if we're too loud too. The most like evil one is what was it again? Surprised by Bloodstain. Oh, AFSpec. Hello.
Hello.
Maybe I should switch what I'm sharing with you, that way it's...
I can figure it out.
There we go.
Very nice.
This was just kind of a trick. It was a bait.
What?
Everybody thought I was gonna do. Everybody thought I was gonna do a Paul thing, and I did. And then I.
It's always gonna be a gaming stream.
And then it's always a gaming stream, secretly. It kind of needs to be, in my mind, because that's what I can provide. I can actually do gaming. And
at least well enough to be somewhat entertaining.
No, I can serve this. Oh my gosh, why was that? At least to serve this section of the audience. Oh no, these are the exploding ones. But how have you been? Yeah.
Not too bad. Work has been terribly busy. We're trying to get a drawing set out, and there have been a bunch of last-minute changes that the senior engineer has been wanting to make, and so it's just been a nightmare.
Fair.
But that's kind of just how it goes sometimes. Things come and go in bursts.
Teams can be difficult to deal with.
It's definitely interesting, though, trying to I don't want to just assume that I have a better idea of how to communicate with other people, but at the same time, like, I can't, like, I'm gonna think what's best is what I think what's best. Like, it's the
kind of the eternal problem, right?
It is, and it's kind of one of those, like, am I being delusional? Am I thinking that I know better just because I think I know better, but I don't actually? But there's just so many instances of, especially like how people are communicating and drawing markups of like, oh, you like this is how you should be doing this, but there's ways of doing that that are more concise and that provide a better experience for the person who is then having to take those markups and then turn them into drawing changes. And I so desperately want to have conversations about, like, hey, like, when you say this way, it's unclear or unnecessarily aggressive or what have you. And not only am I not in a position to have those kind of conversations, I have found vanishingly few opportunities to actually have those conversations. Like, even if like somebody wants to tell me, no, you're wrong, I need to be able to talk to you in that way in order to get my point across.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, like, I'm willing to talk about, like, but no, most people don't even want to address that in the, like, that directly, at least.
That's been one of my kind of how do I say this? I want to say this somewhat humbly. But like, that's been one of the ways I've been trying to like craft myself in like an engineering field.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, I have the ability to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what sets me apart, is that I actually am able to like talk like a human being and not like a robot. And it's not just that I know how to like think in an engineering way, but be able to communicate with like somebody who is nowhere close to being in an engineering role.
Yep.
But
well,
that
even
does
somebody
make,
who is, but
yeah. But it can also make it really tough that, like, you know, this is not necessarily a common thing even then. Like, there are extremely intelligent people or engineering, but they like have no ability to kind of work with others. I'm not saying that that's anything like what you're dealing with, but definitely in college that was like a huge thing where there's, you know, people who oh no. Okay.
Stuck on a rock.
Your face is blocking the bottom corner, so just enough that I can't tell which flask is which. So it's fine. It'll work. Well, it'll work out.
Just take off. Just take me off. That's fine.
No. It's the built-in overlay.
Okay.
So it's cool. And I know if I'm smart, I know how to do it.
Okay.
There's a challenge.
You can also, or wait, the. Oh, like the overlay is a different one from what you're looking at versus what's coming up on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can at least tell you which flask you're on if you want me to, but I don't know. You're probably going to need to know that, like, real quick.
No,
in order to be able to live.
People can play games blindfolded. I can not know what's going on in one portion. I don't even know how monks work with movement techniques, the powers or something. What? My Tri-King? Oh, okay. He's talking to Slack. Okay. I was so lost there.
My Thri-Cream?
Is this like a D&D 2E kind of thing?
Possibly. Yeah, they're Friday game.
Oh. Monks just work. They do the thing.
Mm-hmm. They run up and they do punchies.
I've been doing my Mythic Bastion Lands game. That's been very fun.
What's that?
It's like a TTRPG system where you all play as knights, and you go around like trying to solve mysteries or like resolve. Oh, I don't have access to my steed. Solve mysteries and stuff, and you know, resolve conflicts on the lands, and you get glory, and then you can like own land and stuff. But I've been running the games, and there's like 72 different knights that you can play as.
Okay.
And they all have like crazy abilities. So like one is the coin knight, and he plays the coin knight. He has the ability to on an attack flip a coin. If the coin is heads, the enemy dies. If it's tails, you die. And so they all just are weird.
That sounds like a really short playthrough.
It can be. But that one's one of the more wild ones. There's other ones where it's like, you know, you have the ability to like create a violet light that can only be seen by you and like bees and hedgehogs.
Interesting.
So it's like an invisible flashlight that only you can use.
Well, literally, like, it's an ultraviolet
Yeah.
flashlight, and you just happen to be able to see ultraviolet light.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So there's a lot of like weird little things, but it's also super rules light.
Hmm.
It's I think all the rules for the game is like 18 pages.
That's nice.
And then the rest of the book is just the 72 knights and scenarios that were kind of put forward. Oh, I hate those things. Staying away. But it's a fun time. And then there are also these seers in the game, which are like prophet figures that have a bunch of weird stuff going on themselves too. Most of them are on the edge of being human. So there's one that I got to RP as the DM, which was a pile of snakes.
Hmm. Like just a pile of snakes? Not like a pile of snakes disguised as a person?
No, a pile of snakes
Just a pile
that
of snakes.
all spoken like it's like all their hissing like amalgamates into
a voice. Hmm.
And what they want is more unique snakes to add to their pile. and treats. They like treats.
Like mice?
Like mice. My party ended up feeding him a jerky made from the meat of a meat tree.
A meat tree?
Yeah, apparently a changeling was using trees as like meat teleporters. Like they were like fake trees. Kind of.
Okay.
And they saw this tree open up with like the meat on the inside, and they cut it open and it looked like a normal tree, but then they got to the center after burning it down, and it had jerky on the inside because, you know, it kind of got smoked. And so they had this long like Slim Jim made of tree meat. It's a fun time. It's a fun one.
No, I believe it. Like the one thing, like I never got the chance. Like I didn't have friends who were into D&D or other tabletop RPG stuff. But I have always enjoyed hearing the stories that people tell about them. Even when because one of the hard things to tell a good story with that is that you have all the context in your head, and the person that you're talking to has none of it. And so trying to tell a compelling story while also backfilling all of that context is really, really challenging.
It's almost fun without the context, though. Like, and that's kind of the idea with this game, is that it's very heavy on the the idea that myths are weird and they're kind of made to be weird, and so you should just let them kind of. The weird stuff happens, and you just have a fun time.
Okay.
You just go for it. Let's see if there's anything actually worthwhile. Oh, that's pretty good.
I don't know anything about Elden Ring.
That's an upgrade material for my the thing that everybody says is cheating.
Wait, what?
So there's this mechanic in the game where you can like summon Like
got it. Yep.
And it's not like it. Yeah, you can just summon like mobs to help you in battle.
Mm-hmm. Wherever, whenever. It's not like
Only specified
boss
areas.
summons Oh, okay. So it is kind of like the boss summons from Dark Souls.
It's kind of like boss summons, but it's also like difficult encounters and things like that.
Okay.
Mimic tier? Yeah, I have Mimic. I have the Mimic equipped. That's the like the most cheating one that everybody says. But I have it as a backup. I didn't use it last time though. Whenever I stream, I haven't been using it because I'm too afraid somebody's gonna be mean.
You could just say his name, Grizz. We know it's you. Although I think that he's probably gotten it to the point where CC would also give you shit at this point, so... Oh. Good dodge, good dodge.
It's the part where they,
chain kill each other?
Yeah. Hopefully? No? Okay.
Just a couple.
The tough part over here, and this is where I kind of left off last time because they didn't want to have to deal with this, is, there's a ball up there. We're looking. Okay.
Yep, I see it.
Soon. And I don't know how to deal with the ball.
Oh, it's coming down towards you, or what's the?
Yeah, but it also has like a mind of its own.
Oh. Oh, that's
so
terrifying.
it just kind of rolls at you.
Oh.
And you just gotta make sure it just works.
Just go by it. Here it comes.
Luckily, I think we'll be fine over here, maybe.
It's too narrow for it to get in.
Oh, Slack says it's the best, so I think that's justification for me. What if I step over here? Well, no. Okay.
Oh.
Nice.
Kind of.
Correct. We gotta...
Juked.
Well, there's a ball up there. I don't know if that's a...
And then that will kill all the other ones.
We hope. We hope. What?
Did it not go off? I mean, I wouldn't do that.
I'm sure it's fine. Did I not kill him? What?
No, it's not chaining for some reason. What? What is a micro pup?
Oh no.
And here comes the ball.
Well, he's going the other direction.
Now he's coming this way. Kind of. What?
Oh gosh. Come on. Kill him.
Oh, the ball's getting damaged. Did you see that?
Yeah, it can take damage. I think. I can target it, but...
Yeah, it's not...
I think it's only because these guys have like some AoE stuff going on. Is he just blocking? What's he doing?
I don't know, but you're playing a very dangerous game there, sir.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
He'll
be fine. He'll be fine. There's nothing wrong.
Chris says you're developing a fear of balls.
Oh.
Dung beetle? Loot beetle.
There we go. This is the Titanite shard guys.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so this is like a summoning area. You can do it. So if I wanted to, or I will, just to show it off. This one I summon with a health, but this is the mimic. He's very handsome.
So it's a copy of you. Okay.
I mean, I'm not that conceited. Okay. Just very handsome. By handsome, I mean beautiful, because my character is a woman. Who also is very handsome, actually. He's a, you know.
I feel like Brienne of Tarth, you could call her handsome more than beautiful.
Oh.
I think you just friendly fired yourself, too.
No. He's just getting...
No?
Messed
just getting trashed.
Yeah.
Still alive somehow. It's
almost dead,
impressive.
though.
Oh, there it is.
Come on. Oh.
No. Nope.
Okay, I might have pushed through too hard. That might have not been the right way to go. See you, CC.
Later, CC.
Have a good night.
I might have to hop off here in a minute too. Gotta go walk the dog still.
Fair enough. It is getting late. We'll probably see if we can push through and then we'll...
Okay. I'll watch for one more round. Cheer you on.
See it.
So is it like you know? I'm just curious if it's like a damage threshold. Like, what is it that's causing it to trigger or not trigger?
I think it goes off. It wasn't... I guess it wasn't doing it like close enough, or I was killing it with the wrong damage type at one point. I'm honestly not sure. Oh, there is something over here I need to check, but I just kind of want to push forward, keep going.
It's so ominous.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Well.
Well. Get out of the corner, I guess.
Okay. In real life, I would have dodged that. I would have.
Yeah, totally. 100%.
Do I think I can run through this in time?
Possibly.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
You got statues over here. Nobody puts Foxman in the corner.
No body, except the giant ball.
The ball has a body, I think.
Somewhere deep inside.
I feel like we wanna draw out, you know. Hey,
Try and
friend,
take
come
care
here.
of the ads
Come here.
first.
Come here, bro. Come here.
Don't rush in. Don't Leroy Jenkins it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Leroy Jenkinsing it.
That's okay. It's okay. If he's coming in, that's fine.
That was a good hit though. Good ambush. Not bad.
I'll take it.
So those little silver blobby things, they can turn into people?
Yeah, some of them are mimics and they can turn in. So that's what I have. Is I have one that is a spirit that I summon.
Gotcha.
Okay. Nice.
Not so fun when it happens to you, huh?
Yeah. What in the world? Moon of Nostalgia?
Noxtella?
Memory slots. Yeah. Well. I was hoping it would be more exciting than that, but fair enough. Well, I think that sounds like a good place to stop
Call
then.
for the night.
Alright, well, thank you, Af, for hopping on and talking for a little bit. And for letting me lead the conversation in strange places. But thank you all for joining as well and having fun.
Bye, Embody.
I need to find a way to actually turn it off.